survivors in the room, if you are willing, please stand. And if you are willing, please raise your hands if you have still not been able to meet with this Department of Justice. Please know for the record that every single survivor has raised their hand. Attorney General Bondi, you apologized to the survivors in your opening statement for what they went through at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein. Will you turn to them now and apologize for what your Department of Justice has put them through with the absolutely unacceptable release of the Epstein files and their information?
Epstein accusers are finally speaking up, but honestly, every time something new comes up about exactly what was happening on that island, my jaw literally goes to the floor. Like, what do you mean Beyonce allegedly had something to do with her 16 unborn and Epstein, then proceeded to change the lyrics to 16 Carriages to manipulate the situation? Allegedly, Naomi Campbell was also the one responsible for acquiring models for Epstein and other elites from the East African region. Then there's Jamie Foxx, who was in the documents that were suspiciously deleted by the Department of Justice. Well, the accusers have been speaking up and saying that they are genuinely scared that such powerful individuals may come after them now that their identities are out in the open.
Today is the most saddening, deeply upsetting, heartbroken day that we have experienced as survivors. I can't help but wonder why the DOJ has once again failed us. Again, it feels like they're ignoring our need for protection, especially when they've taken this time to redact the names of powerful individuals, like you said, but not ours.
Based on what's making rounds, the accusers are finally done waiting for the government, and word is they're building their own real client list and spilling exactly what they witnessed. People are saying the names they're whispering behind closed doors aren't just the politicians we already know, but the A-list untouchables. Like, there's a rumor that a few of them have finally named Naomi Campbell, not just as a guest, but as someone who was in the room more often than she admits, and that Jamie Foxx was allegedly the high roller being offered exclusive nights back in the mid-2000s New York scene. Even Beyonce's name is getting dragged in, with allegations hinting at entertainment industry elites who knew exactly what was happening at those parties, but looked the other way to keep their own careers moving. What Ally Carter had been saying for years seems to be getting true. Honey, to break it down even further, as far as Queen Bey is concerned, her name actually appears in the documents from an email by Larry Summer talking about doing at least one thing without any guilt. The context of this email is not really clear, but Larry mentions Beyonce and Serena, and the assumption is that Larry wanted Epstein to introduce him to Beyonce. Apparently, 7 months later, Larry joined Afterpay, and Roc Nation received 75,000 stock options. In addition, Beyonce is also mentioned in an email talking about her performance at a Formula One race event. Now, as much as nothing specifically implicates Beyonce, she has mostly been accused of knowing what was happening and interacting closely with people who have been accused of the most crazy crimes in Hollywood, and staying silent on all of it. For instance, she's been called out for being a little too close to the dream even after he was accused of various crimes, and even sued by songwriter Shanaz Mangro, originally from the Netherlands, who claimed he allegedly took advantage of her after promising to make her the next Queen Bey. Shanaz accused Dream of using Beyonce's name to get to her, alleging if she did what he told her, he'd change her life. Actually, Beyonce allegedly had a sanctuary relationship with Dream that Dream described as being even stronger than a spousal connection, and knew her inner secrets, which reportedly included information about one of her pregnancies and tension with Rihanna. According to what Shanaz said, Dream allegedly promised to make her the next Beyonce and Rihanna, but she claimed he lured her into his deeply freaky world while seemingly spilling alleged secrets about Bey. Well, there's also the link that has been made to Beyonce's husband, and people like Diddy, with critics generally saying that there's no way Beyonce never knew what was happening behind closed doors. But guess what? Now, the allegation making rounds is that Beyonce allegedly passed her 16 unborns to Epstein so he could consume, then proceeded to change the lyrics to her song 16 Carriages to manipulate the situation. Now, what people have always assumed is that the song is an autobiographical country ballad about her long career, and that 16 refers to the age she was when her career truly launched, which was in 1997, when she was around 15 to 16. In the context of the song, the Carriages represent represent the years passing by and the dreams she had to sacrifice to achieve her current legacy. However, people are now debunking the lyrics and saying that there could be a deeper meaning to the 16 Carriages, based on the allegations that elite celebrities are involved in energy harvesting and other ritualistic crimes. Baby, this is crazy business if there's any truth to it. Moving on. About Naomi Campbell, we already know that she possibly had close interactions with Epstein because her name has appeared in Epstein's Little Black Book and on flight logs. She's also been heavily linked to the acquisition of models for Epstein, and one of the accusers who was taken to the island even called her out for this, saying, "You saw me at your parties. You saw me in Epstein's homes. You saw me on the plane. You saw me get my hair cut. You saw me on the streets. You saw me." Now, in the recent documents, there were emails that revealed that in 2016, Epstein discussed purchasing Brazilian modeling agencies, specifically negotiating with Ford Models. While Ford Models, which once represented Naomi Campbell, denies any contact with Epstein, the documents show his persistent interest in using the modeling industry as a means to meet women. Coincidentally, Epstein showed interest in the East Africa region during the same years Naomi Campbell was establishing her high-profile presence in the same region. In fact, the Kenyan Ministry of Tourism named Naomi Campbell the International Magical Kenya Tourism Ambassador around the same time. Tell me you don't find it suspicious that the 2026 documents discuss attempts to penetrate the African modeling market, specifically looking for new talent in Kenya and Ethiopia. Then, coincidentally, Naomi's primary residence and focus in Kenya is Malindi, a town known for hosting an elite, often secretive international jet-set community, which is the exact demographic Epstein moved within. She definitely knew. Actually, even before this recent release, the Department of Justice had already released a transcript of an interview between Ghislaine Maxwell and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, and in it, Maxwell stated that Naomi Campbell likely visited Little St. James, which was Epstein's private island at some point, and was definitely involved with him. Ghislaine Maxwell also claimed that Campbell had a friendship with Epstein that was independent of her own. So this means that there may have been deeper interactions between Naomi and Epstein that Ghislaine was not even aware of.
Aside from that flight, do you know him from any other thing?
Well, Naomi already denied any connection to Epstein, but when people put pressure on her, she said that she was introduced to Epstein on her 31st birthday by her ex-boyfriend, Flavio Briatore, and that Epstein was always front and center at Victoria's Secret fashion shows. She said that she had no idea Epstein was using her name to attract young women interested in modeling, and as he did with many others, he overstated their acquaintanceship. She even said that she deeply regrets having had any contact with Epstein after his conviction, and said that despite rubbing shoulders with Epstein, who she called one of the hundreds of thousands of people that she stood next to take a picture, she said she was unaware of Epstein's alleged crimes at the time.
This is a direct character assassination. I've always said that I'm not a saint, that I am a work in progress, but I will not be held hostage by my past. What he's done is indefensible. And when I heard of what he'd done, it sickened me to my stomach, just like everybody else. Because I've had my fair share of sexual predators, and thank God that I had good people around me that protected me from this. I mean, right now I stand with the victims. I can't, they're scarred for life. For life. I've rubbed shoulders with hundreds of thousands of.
I mean, receipts don't lie, Naomi. But anywho, another name that has come up since the accusers started speaking up is Jamie Foxx. What you should know is that Jamie Foxx appeared in one of the deleted documents that had initially been uploaded by the DOJ, and there was a message that read, "In 2004 or 2005, Sir Ivan Wilzig hosted a party where Jeffrey Epstein, Sammy Sosa, and Donald Trump were in attendance. Patti LaBelle's PR agent stood at the door. At the party, caller met an individual who was approximately 18 to 23 years of age, who was brought from Oklahoma for a modeling job, but then passed to a man in France. Several women were being passed off for money, and a woman, possibly known as Colette LNU, was the madam. A couple of years later, caller saw Colette at the Cheetah Club in New York, and she told one of Santos' friends that Jamie Foxx was interested in spending a night with her, and that he could pay her a lot of money. I don't know why the entry was deleted, but we all know that we've heard some pretty questionable things about Jamie Foxx. For For instance, back in the day, there were pictures, videos, and posts of Jamie Foxx playing naked basketball with elites. But for reasons we can all guess, all those receipts mysteriously disappeared from the internet. However, people swear that the receipts existed, and that there was even a post where Jamie basically apologized to his neighbors for playing naked basketball. Well, Jamie Foxx has worked very hard to make sure all these receipts are no longer on the internet, but anyone from back in the day will tell you that they existed. There's just something about him and receipts suspiciously getting deleted, which is super sus. Plus, Jamie Foxx has also been pictured in those Hollywood parties where all this nasty business was taking place. Well, he better be prepared for what's about to get released, because the accusers are not playing. Actually, for those who recall, in September 2025, they stood on Capitol Hill and announced they were compiling their own list of associates because they feel the official documents are too redacted. Now, they are once again threatening to spill everything they know, since they are not being protected by the DOJ. Sheesh. I just know it's about to get messier moving forward. But do you believe what's being said about Beyonce and the 16 Carriages? What about Jamie Foxx and Naomi Campbell? Let me know what you think in the comments section below.